good?
Yep, good to go.
Okay, thank you. All right, a very good afternoon to everyone present here. Thank you for joining the SESA webinar on enhancing adoption of waste to energy solutions for clean cooking in Africa. I'm Aditya Danute from Smart Innovation Norway, based in Halden in Norway. And with me, we have Daniele Melonioni from LATAT, and he has joined us from Barcelona in Spain. So Daniel and I will be the moderators for today's webinar. And before moving ahead, I would like to inform everyone that this webinar will be recorded for further communication and dissemination activities for the SESA project. Also, during the webinar, if the attendees would like to ask any questions to our panelists, please feel free to use the Zoom chat. We will try to answer all your questions either in the chat or during the discussion round. So let's begin. Important note that we comply with the European Union's General Data Protection Regulations. Similar applies to this webinar as well. Next up, we look at the agenda for the webinar today. I will begin with the welcome and introduction to the SESA project, wherein I'll give an overview about the project, objectives, activities, and partners involved. After this, we will have the session on implementing solutions in Africa, in which we have 4 panelists who will present their work in the domain of waste to energy and clean cooking solutions. Starting with Martin Carlson from SESA's Malawi Living Lab, Isaac Boateng from SESA's Ghana Living Lab, Patience Alifo from Econexus Ventures and also member of the SESA's incubator program. And then we have SESA's sister project, Reflect Africa. And from there, Augustine will present this project. Subsequently, the panelists will have a panel discussion focusing on 2 topics. First one is clean cooking and waste to energy techniques and way ahead for implementation in the African countries. The second would be policy perspectives for the adoption of waste to energy technologies or solutions in the African context. For the panel discussion, we will also be joined by Ola Goma. She's the Deputy Director for the Biotechnology Division and Scientific Advisor for the Central Laboratory Unit at the National Center for Radiation Research and Technology, Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority in Cairo, Egypt. In addition to her extensive portfolio of work, she also works in the domain of waste valorization to value-added products. And then we also have Laban Okeyo. He currently works for the county government of Kisumu in Kenya as a senior renewable energy officer. He works in the implementation of renewable energy projects and programs in the county, including policy formulation. So I, on behalf of the whole SESA project consortium, welcome you all and looking forward for a great discussion ahead. So let's start with the first session on implementing solutions in Africa. The report on Energy Progress 2023 highlights that in 2021, more than 600 million people lack access to clean cooking fuels and technologies in the sub-Saharan African countries. Furthermore, under the Paris Climate Agreement, access to clean cooking fuels and technologies is integral for making affordable energy available to the people. Considering these scenarios, it becomes necessary to take desired actions to improve the livelihood and well-being of the people, as well as create sustainable business opportunities, which is the goal of the SESA project. So what is SESA? SESA, as the abbreviation, is the abbreviation for Smart Energy Solutions for Africa, is a project funded by the European Commission under the EU's Horizon 2020 Research and Innovation Program. SESA is a collaborative project between the European Union and the 9 African countries: Kenya, Ghana, South Africa, Malawi, Morocco, Namibia, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Nigeria. As you can see them on the map here, the project aims to provide energy access through technologies and business models that are easily replicable and generate local opportunities for economic development and social cohesion in Africa. Running from October 2021, the project will last till September 2025. SESA is the result of a strong partnership between leading European and African universities, research centers, industry actors, local governments, knowledge and implementation organizations, and networks. These will be strengthened via peer-to-peer exchange, policy dialogues, regional and international events, among others. So what are the objectives? The main objectives include inform about the innovative, affordable, and efficient solutions, which is being done by developing an online toolbox and an extensive capacity building program in the SESA project. And this webinar is also a part of the capacity building program. The second, we inspire to facilitate exchange and partnerships between Europe and Africa through peer-to-peer exchange across pilot sites, initiate urban and rural communities, which we are doing by co-creation processes through our living labs, and also conducting policy roundtables, implementing through co-developing, innovating, and replicating the energy solutions. This is being done by providing seed funds and to companies in the startup incubator as a part of the SESA project, and creating an impact for long-term partnership and exchange on the basis of innovative, sustainable energy solutions. And this we are doing by integrating the innovations initiated and validated in the project. Further, SESA has taken a modular approach to achieve its project objectives and project goals. The project begins with the demonstration actions of solutions in Kenya, followed by the validation action in validation sites in 4 countries, which are Ghana, Malawi, Morocco, and South Africa. The learnings from the demonstration and validation sites shall be further developed and replicated in the replication sites in Namibia, Nigeria, Rwanda, and Tanzania. So these are the actions that will be taken in the project. And here we can see an overview of the SESA solutions in focus that are being implemented in the demonstration, validation, and replication sites, as mentioned earlier. The solutions include sustainable e-mobility, circularity and sustainable energy, productive use of energy through solar power for agriculture, second life lithium-ion batteries, solar power and water energy food nexus, e-waste from solar off-grid solutions, solar mini-grids, climate proofing, clean cooking, and energy efficiency. And of course, all of this is not possible without having the support of a strong consortium with a vision to create an impact and produce concrete results for the project. So here we have the 30 project partners for SESA. Out of the 30 partners, both from Europe and Africa, Iklay is the project coordinator. We at Smart Innovation Norway are the work package lead for technical and business partnerships, models, and implementation plans, along with other activities and other work packages. And LATAT with its major contributions in the work package on capacity building. So yes, this is a brief overview about the project. And now I would like to invite the panelists to begin their presentations, starting with Martin. Martin, if you're ready, we can start with your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. I will start where, because I don't have any.
I can start here.
And maybe you can switch them as well.
Yeah.
Yes, my name is Martin Karlsson from Make It Green. Next. Objectives for Malawi Living Lab is to adapt and validate the biocooker to a small scale and commercial product in order to be easily implemented in a selected region, and to develop a local fuel supply chain by testing new biomass alternatives for the selected regions to reduce the deforestation, and producing secondary bioproducts, soil improvers such as biochar, to develop new value chain and the circular business models for local entrepreneurs, supporting them in an acceleration process. Next. And expected results. A more cost-effective biomass cooking solution that is affordable, is less time-consuming, and creates a valuable byproduct. To have better indoor air quality in terms of particles and consequently better health. A local supply chain using biomass residues rather than naturally occurring biomass to reduce deforestation and ease the pressure on the local environment. Next. Selected region, Malawi. At the validation site, there is a small-scale sunflower oil pressing plant. Roughly about 1,000 farmers now supply this production plant with sunflower seeds. The sunflower fields are spread in between 17 villages, and they are individually owned by smallholder farmers. And from the sunflower production, there will be biomass residues that can be briquetted and used as a potential fuel for the cooking stoves. And then we can make briquettes and sell locally in their area. Next one, please. So the MIG cook stove solution. Next one. The MIG BioCooker 2.0. It's a solar biomass hybrid energy system. This one is cheaper with decreased material cost. It's less complicated in the construction, and there will also be a simpler assembling of the stove. It's also more environmentally friendly. There is no painting and less complicated electronics. And it works well with local biomass as sunflower residues. And if you just press the yellow, right. You can see how it looks like more inside as well. Okay, so next slide, please. The MIG BioCooker uses a solar panel and a power bank, and it has a good function of the three-step fan with a good air supply. And the difference is that the stove doesn't produce electricity, it's the sun. Next one, please. And it does also produce biochar. Next one. Future plans and vision for the cook stove solution is to first establish a manufacturing plant in Malawi, adapt a barbecue and pizza function onto the stove, and also scale up to an institutional stove. Next one, please. Opportunities. possibilities of getting funding from NGOs in production of the clean cooking stoves as one of the climate change mitigation. Next one. Challenges. It's first the price for the cook stove, and also difficult to measure impact in terms of usage and positive environmental impact. Next one. Okay, that's the one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin, for your presentation. Now, moving forward, I would like to invite Isaac from the Ghana Living Lab to say a few words about his Living Lab activities. Isaac, if you're there.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly fine.
Yeah, thank you. For us in Ghana, I have to say, at the beginning, our waste to energy plan was to develop a biogas system where agro waste would have been the material we use to feed the digester and to generate biogas for cooking in 4 schools. But along the line, through the seed funding call, we realized there are a couple of challenges as well with the biogas in schools, because we would have need a land from the schools. When we build the system, who is going to manage it, the ownership of the system, all those things, all those questions came up. And therefore, we decided to settle on the company, the small scale business we found during the seed funding call as a partner to develop waste to energy solution. And this time around, this small business will use the same waste material, agricultural waste, in their company to develop a bioethanol. And then the ethanol will be supplied to the schools. And then we will manufacture a commercial stove for them so that they will use the bioethanol as a fuel on the stove and cook. This, in effect, providing us the same output or the same results, but in a different form. So the whole thing will be that we are going to use waste to energy, but this time around, not in a biogas. The waste will be transformed into bioethanol in the company's own site, and the fuel will be transported to the 4 schools, and the stove will be leased to them for some time for them to test. And then after the test, they will buy their own cook stove and buy the fuel from the company. And in that effect, we have achieved the same results. The waste materials, turning them into energy, but not on site at the schools, but in the site of the industry. And then we are also looking forward to support the company to upscale so that a lot of schools and other businesses like restaurants and people who need such energy, even domestic individuals, procure the fuel and the stove to enhance or to achieve clean cooking. So that is it from Ghana, and that is what we are doing. We are on course at the moment. We are working on the stove. As for the fuel, it's already there. The process of manufacturing is complete. It's just the stove we are working on, and we hope maybe by the end of July, the first prototype of the stove will be ready for testing. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac, for giving a brief overview of what the Ghana Living Lab has been doing in terms of in the SESA project. And yes, we will surely continue in our discussion round in the panel discussion, and we can surely dive deeper into both for Malawi and Ghana Living Labs and their activities and future plans through that. And up next, I would like to invite Patience for presenting her company, Econexus Ventures. And just a side note, Econexus Ventures is a part of the SESA incubator program and also supporting Ghana Living Lab with its development. So Patience, over to you.
Yeah, hello, good morning from Ghana. It's a delight to be here. And as Professor Isaac has already said, we applied for the SESA project and we were selected. So I'm going to give a brief presentation on exactly what we are doing here in Ghana. So I'm Patience, co-founder of Econexus Ventures Limited, and we are into the production of clean bioethanol fuels from bio-waste. And please, can we move to the next slide? Yeah. All right, so one may ask, what is the problem we are actually solving? In 2021, WHO published an article, and the article realized that approximately 17,000 people die annually in Ghana as a result of household air pollution, attributed to cooking with traditional cook stoves. In Ghana here, most of the women in rural communities and peri-urban are still using traditional cook stove, that is charcoal firewood, as a means of energy for cooking. And amazingly, this is approximately contributing to annually 17,000 people dying as a result of household air pollution. So as a team, Econexus, when we, I saw this problem way back in 2019, and looking at how the number keeps increasing, we decided to come up with a solution. So we can move to the next slide. Yeah. So with our solution, we thought of using bio-waste to produce ethanol fuel. So we are producing a smokeless ethanol cooking fuel that provides urban, peri-urban, and rural households access to three major things. Number one is energy that is clean and climate smart. Number two, that is energy that is affordable, reliable, and easy to use. And number three, we have a game-changing health solution through mosquito repelling additive. With our bioethanol fuel, we have a special additive that repels insects when our customers are cooking in their very. So someone will be wondering, what is the technology or what's the solution we are providing? So can we move to the next slide, please? Yes, so we have here EcoGel. So our first product is EcoGel. So EcoGel is energy from waste product. We use pineapple waste, we use sugarcane molasses, and we use cashew apples to produce EcoGel. EcoGel is 100% organic. EcoGel contains mosquito repelling additive. There is no black flame or stain on our customers' cooking pot. And 0.75 liter of our fuel cooks per day for a family of 5. That tells you how affordable it is. And 1 liter of fuel burns for 15 hours maximum. That tells you how efficient it is. There is no spill, there is no explosion, there is no toxic when our customers are using our product. So that gives our customers value of safety when they are using the product. And EcoGel comes with a clean cooking stove. And as you can see in the picture, we have the stove. So without our fuel, you cannot use the stove. And without the stove, you cannot use our fuel. So let's move on to the next slide. And we also have EcoGel. So in Econexus, we have 2 main products. We have the EcoGel that I already presented on, and we have the EcoGel. So EcoGel is our evaporative liquid ethanol fuel, and that one, the fuel is in a liquid form and it comes with a canister. The stove comes with a canister, and that's where our customers fill in the fuel. So the canister is being inserted into the stove and our customers use it. Our eco fuel is also 100% safe. There is no spillage, there is no smoke, there is no explosion as well. So let's move on to the next slide. So someone will ask, how do we actually operate as a company? First of all, we source the feedstock from, we source our organic waste, that is the pineapple peels and everything. In Ghana here, we consume a lot of pineapple. So we gather the waste. We also use sugarcane molasses. We also use cashew apples as an alternative source of raw material. Then we produce our fuel. And after we are done producing the fuel, we channel the fuel to our empowered network of green fuel retail agents. Currently, we are, as we join the SESA program, we've been able to add additional 3 regions to the existing 3 regions we already have, and we are increasing. And we are able to do that through our empowered network of green fuel retail agents. And these distributors or green fuel retail agents helps us to distribute the product to our end users. That is the household, the students, the food vendors as well. So can we move to the next slide? Yes, so in Ghana here, our main competitors are the, kerosene, we have charcoal, and we have LPG. And what makes our products very unique and what makes our the customers love our products is 1 liter of our EcoGel Eco Fuel cooks for more than 10 hours and is safe and clean as well. That means the price is very good, the safetyness is very good, and it's also clean. We are promoting clean energy as well. Yeah, in Ghana here, with the market size, we have 9 million households. That is the total addressable market. And for Econesis, we are targeting 60% of the market share from now to 2032. And with LPG, in Ghana here, with the LPG users, we have 37, and with the biomass, we have 63. That means that we have advantage to, segment some of the markets ourselves. And if you're able to do that, by 2032, we'll be able to have 60% of the market share to ourselves as well. Next. So one may ask, how do we make money as a company? We make our money through the sales of our products, through the sales of the fuel and stove. I initially said that without the stove and with our fuel, it's reoccurring. So when the customers buy the stove from us, they come back to us for the fuel, and that's how we make our money. Next. With the traction from 2020 to 2022, we've been able to make a traction of $40,000 US, and this year we are looking at more than even $50,000. Next. And these are some of the grants that we've been able to raise so far. Next. And with the impact to date, we've been able to reach 533 households. And we did a pilot report with Africa Center for Energy, and it shows that with some of the communities that are using our fuel, deforestation has been reduced by 15% and air quality has been improved by 80%. Next. And we've also provided 10 direct jobs and also 15 direct jobs where we created opportunities for women and youth to retail our product as well. And also with bottling our products, we use PET bottles. We want to recycle the bottles as well. And we are growing as a company, and thanks to the SESA project, right now we are with the projects we are doing with SESA, we are, as Professor Isaac has said, we are going to provide industrial stove for 4 senior high schools as a pilot study. And hopefully when we are done with that, we want to also, provide other senior high schools. And we are growing as a company, and we are looking at also raising a fund of $150,000 to increase whatever the capacity we are doing here in Ghana, and also meet the demand in the market as well. Next. And this is the amazing team. We have Prince as the CEO, and I have myself as a co-founder and also operation officer, and we have Jessica production, and we have Bernard as our finance head as well. Next. So I've come to the end of the presentation, and I'll end with this award that we had that was last year. We won the Clean Cooking Alliance Women Leaders Award, and they awarded us for what we are doing in the clean cooking industry. And also they are looking forward that we'll increase our capacity and also provide clean energy for more women in Ghana and even in West Africa. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Patience, for this amazing presentation. Good luck with all the work that you're doing. And yes, for the audience members, if you have any questions, queries till now, please forward that into the chat. And Patience, thank you again. And we will also receive you in the panel discussions to dive a bit more deeper into the topic. Next up, we have one of the sister projects for SESA, which is Reflect Africa. And we have with here Augustine, who will present the project activities in this webinar today. So over to you, Augustine.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to present what we are doing at Reflect Africa. So as already mentioned, Reflect Africa is a sister program of SESA. So Reflect Africa is renewable energies for Africa, effective valorization of agri-food waste. And if you look at Reflect Africa, it's a consortium of about 29 partners, about 14 research and development institutions. We have 12 SMEs. We have 3 other public institutions. And then it's in Africa, we are working with about 11 African countries, which is clustered into 3, the North, the West, and then the South. And then we are also working with about 5 European countries, that is Ghana, Spain, Portugal, Germany, and the rest. So, and the project is a 5-year program, 5 years project, started from November 2021, and it's supposed to end in October 2026. So as I've already mentioned, this is, as you can see on the screen, 5 European countries, 3 clusters. So the West cluster, we have Senegal, Ghana, and Nigeria. Then the North cluster, we have Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Egypt. Then the South cluster, we have Uganda, Tanzania, Mozambique, and South Africa. So I think in the introductory presentation by SESA, already highlighted some of the points. Energy access in Africa is very low. And when it also comes to energy for cooking, most of the predominant fuel used for cooking is charcoal and firewood, which comes with a lot of emissions, causing health and also climatic challenges. And if you look at the vision of the SDG 13, is to make sure that climate change is brought down to the minimal level. And looking at the low energy access in Africa, for us to be able to align with the SDG 7, then something must be done. And this is the aim of the project. And if you look at the aim of the project is to demonstrate innovative, reliable, adapted, sustainable energy solution for valorization of biomass waste from agri-food industry based on gasification technology. So the project is intended to build 3 demonstrator plants, that is in Ghana, South Africa, and then in Morocco. So, and all these are supposed to be gasification. We are using gasification technology in these 3 demonstration sites. So if you go to Morocco, our demonstration is supposed to be in an olive industry, and where we are going to use olive pits to generate electricity. If you go to South Africa, is going to be, our demonstrating plant is going to be in a commercial market, where we are going to use the food waste from the market to generate electricity through gasification. And then if you go to Ghana, we are going to use agricultural residues from cashew, peanuts, and then also maize to generate electricity in a selected senior high school in the Solar Tunakaba district. So I will just look at, if you can see in the picture, you have the gasification. We have these model plants in the University of Jaén, has some of these demonstration plants in a research institution in Spain called IFAPA. So in IFAPA, the images we are seeing, the yellow gasification plant is a technology that is from Anchor Technologies, and we are going to get all our gasification plants from Anchor Technologies. And this one is also a one that is model based on the one from Anchor as a demonstration plant made in Spain here. So I will, before I will look at the work schedule of the project. So if you look at it, the project is divided into 10 work packages, but if you are looking at it, 7 is the concrete work packages, and the first work package is to identify the energy needs of the demonstration site and of the partner countries in Africa. We've already passed that level. And then to define design. So once we identify the energy needs, then we design the demonstrators, and then definition and design of demonstrators. Now we are at the building and commissioning of the demonstrators. So we are looking forward that by the end of this year, we'll be able to build our demonstration plants in the already mentioned site that I talked about. So we will have 1 plant in Ghana, 1 in Morocco, and then 1 in South Africa. Then after that, we will demonstrate it to see how it works. Then we'll do the life cycle analysis and the life cost analysis to see its replicability in other areas in Africa. Then digitization, we will try to digitize it to ensure that research institutions are able to get data when they need the data to carry out research activities, because we realize that when it comes to data, is very difficult to get, especially when you are conducting research in Africa. Our database is very weak. So through this, we can provide. And then we also build business models whereby we create business models in communities to create jobs for people. So I already mentioned the location of demonstrators, as we can see in the slide. This is the north demonstrator site in the olive mill in Morocco. And then if you come to the south, we have a food market in South Africa. That is where we are going to have it. But I will, this is the west demonstrator that is in the Solar Tuna community. So I will throw a bit of light into the demonstrator in Ghana that is supposed to be built in Ghana. So it is going to be built in a secondary school called the Tuna Secondary School, or TUSEC, and it is located in the Solar Tunakaba district in the Savannah region of Ghana. And this plant is going to be a hybrid plant whereby we are going to use solar and then gasification technology, the gasification of agricultural residue, and the residues we are considering, we are looking at peanut shell, we are looking at, that is, if you say peanut shell, granite shell, we are looking at cashew shells, then we are looking at maize husk and cobs. So we realized from our studies realized these are the 3 dominant crops that are mostly produced in the area. So we'll be using this. And, you know, from the emergence in Ghana, when we started the free senior high school, we realized that populations are increasing and there's a need for, the students are being fed, and the method of cooking mostly is firewood, which is not good for health. So through this plant, we also intend to use the heat generated through the plant. As we provide electricity, we are looking at providing heat source for cooking and also heating in their dormitories. And this will come a long way to solve the problem of having to use firewood, which causes a lot of pollution and other things. And if you look at this, we are working with NASCO Foundation in Ghana. NASCO Foundation is doing a lot of this. So in Ghana, we are working with 3 institutions: the NASCO Foundation, the University of Energy and Natural Resources, and the Solar Tuna Kaba District. So these are, but the NASCO Foundation is playing a very key role in the project in Ghana. And NASCO, what they do is providing computers, computer literacy to people in rural areas. So, and mostly they have the challenge that electricity access is a problem, and computer needs electricity for its function. So we know that through this project, NASCO will be able to expand their scope of reach in terms of providing computer education to people. So thank you very much. I think this is what I can present as what we are doing at Reflect Africa.
Thank you, Augustine, for your wonderful presentation. It's really good to know that under the similar schemes, we are taking different approaches, but reaching to the similar kind of goals and objectives. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining in today. And yes, we will also receive you in the panel discussion, which is the next session. And once again, I would like to thank all the presenters who have presented: Martin, Isaac, then Patience, and Augustine for your presentations. And I would like to now invite Daniele, who will be moderating for the discussion session. Daniele.
Yes. Thank you, Aditya. Well, you will continue sharing the slides, I think. And well, again, thanks to all the speakers. And I would ask for this round of discussions to switch on the cameras of all of us. So in the end, it's most likely a virtual roundtable. And there are 2 topics of discussions. As previously mentioned, one regarding way ahead for the implementation of these technologies in the African countries, and the second one more related to policy perspectives. You can switch. First, we will start with some questions for the Living Labs representatives of SESA. A first question is what are the opportunities and challenges for the Living Labs that have been observed till this stage of the SESA project, and how do you see addressing this going forward in the project? And I don't know if one of the speakers want to start. Like Isaac, do you want to share your thoughts regarding this for the Ghana Living Lab? Or Martin?
Well, I think I need some help from my partners to answer those questions here.
Yeah, it's also a valid question for patients from your company point of view.
Okay, so for us at Econexis, the project has helped us a lot. First of all, we've received some funding to help produce the industrial stove, and that is a good one. Aside that, we've also received incubation opportunity. We were part of the incubation program where we went through the business model, we went through our market segmentation and everything. And those, training really helped us to redefine our target market and even increase our reach as well. And aside that, we've had an opportunity to have a personal mentor through the same SESA project that is mentoring us, and that's really helped us to restructure our business. That is the governance structure and everything. And because we've gotten to the stage of growth and we need to do things the right way. And our mentor is helping us and guiding us to transit to the next stage of growth for the company. And amazingly, he was even here with us yesterday in Ghana to see what we are doing. And also, we are working directly with Siemens as well, since we're getting our funding from Siemens. And they've actually been here before. And amazingly, the CEO came to visit us yesterday. So we've been able to build some good relationship through the SESA project. And we are looking for, more opportunities, and there are more opportunities in the SESA project. Aside the funding, aside the incubation, aside the mentorship, there's capacity building as well. And that is really good for our company. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And what about the challenges? Before you mentioned the possibility to manufacture the stoves in Ghana, isn't it? Because now you are buying them abroad.
Yeah, so when it comes to the challenges, I think that we are taking it one step at a time. We have a timeline we are working with, and that is good for us. There is no pressure, but all the capacity building is helping us to achieve our goal. And we have Professor Isaac, who is here in Ghana here supporting us. So with the challenges, I wouldn't say we've had any big challenges coming our way, but we taking the challenge of producing an industrial stove, that would be the challenge, but that is a good challenge for us because we are entering into a new market, and it comes with challenges, but if you're able to do it well, the opportunity there is big for us as well.
Thank you. I think similar challenges are also are being faced by Malawi Living Lab. Martin, do you want to comment on this?
Well, I don't have any comments right now.
Okay.
Daniel, I would also, since this question was just addressing SESA project, but I would also like to get in the thoughts of Augustine from the Reflect project. And we would also, like to know what the positives of their project they're seeing, and what are the challenges that they're seeing, which they can, share at this point of time. If Augustine can come in this one.
I don't know if
Yeah.
Augustine, could you?
I'm not sure whether he's able to hear us. Okay.
Maybe couldn't hear the question, it seems. So
maybe
we can go to the next one.
Next phase, which is
Yeah, regarding the validation activities that are being done by the Living Labs in the SESA projects, well, I think we answered this question through the presentations shared before, so we switch to the third one. How do you see these validation activities being further developed for sustaining the business models of these solutions? For example, a selection of other geographic areas, population literacy, user acceptability, and affordability. And again, I would ask to the Living Labs if I can say something more.
And also inputs from patients can also be very valuable here in terms of how they see the market beyond Malawi, if they are planning to move out of the country, and depending upon how they view their product going into different geographic areas, in terms of affordability from the user end perspective as well. So patients, maybe you can throw some light in here.
Okay. For us in Ghana, we are based in Ghana, not Malawi. So for us in Ghana, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, for us in Ghana, we've been able to, we are based in Greater Accra region, but through the SESA project, we've been able to get into different regions. That is the Western region, and right now we are working with Professor Isaac Martin to get into the Ashanti region as well, and also the Northern region, we are working there as well. But aside Ghana, we are also looking at entering into the Togo market, because Ghana is very close to Togo, and so we are forming some distribution partnership there that is in progress, and we are looking at expanding there by the end of this year as well.
Thank you. Yeah, we can switch to the other part of the discussion, and involving also Ola. And here there is actually a question for but how do you see the market growing for EcoNexus solution, national or international, scaling and replication point of view? And I think that, Patience just answered that, looking to going further out of Ghana context. And so, we switch to the second question. What are the specific opportunities and challenges of your company from the financial point of view? Here I had some thoughts before, but don't know if regarding the funding opportunity coming from the project, coming from the government, are there any challenges that you see from this point of view?
Yeah, so basically, most of our funding have been from international agencies. We've not really got any funding from our local government yet, because there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of long issues there. But we are not really focusing there. We are looking at, with the grant that we have got so far, how we can increase our cash flow and be sustainable as a company. So with the support we've gotten from our previous funding and from the SESA project, for the SESA project, I mean, the funding is specifically for the industrial stove and also helping us get new outlets. So we want to build on this so that we can increase our cash flow and be sustainable as a company. And possibly in future, we can be open up for equity investment and also see how best we can allocate shares as a company as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Martin, would...
Yeah, maybe if Martin can add from Make It Green point of view, like, are they open to any funding opportunities to when their product is developed, or are they have they started looking into that, or what's your perspective on that? Maybe Martin can add, probably.
I don't know exactly, but can I come back with that later?
Yeah, sure. Daniel, over to you.
Here it's also interesting to know the opinion from research institutions. I would ask all to share their thought about this. Also, if when looking for funding opportunities in projects related with waste valorization, waste to energy. Hola, did you?
Wow. So this is for question number 2. You want the opportunities and challenges, or?
Well, yes, some thoughts about.
Okay, so I think that the market is really open for something like the waste valorization. It's something that we really all need to adopt, because waste is the new resource, and I think that more opportunities are out there for companies to start their business, but the challenges they face are the things that needs to be addressed. So, for example, something related to the there would be 2 elements. One of them would be the governmental issues and the permits and the streamlining the permits and getting the proper paperwork in time. Having incentives that can be just like for example, subsidies, making it easier for companies to work and develop the product. And then the other element is the cultural side, the community, the people who, they just think of waste as waste and it's thrown away. It's thrown in a wrong manner where you cannot reuse it again. So I think that the elements should be like facilitating this for the companies to work and develop the product. And then on the other hand, raising awareness and educating the people of the importance of waste. And it's not just like, as it's seen in many countries, like it's garbage and buying new things. It's something that can be reproduced and developed into another product or another, useful thing for them. So this is
Thank you. Well, you actually opened the also this side of social acceptance of these technologies involving waste, but is I would say another big challenge, a part of the financial aspect, and really important also when looking more in. I mean, this webinar was related to waste to energy for clean cooking. So when mixing wastes and cooking and food, all this aspect of social acceptance and awareness become far more important.
Yes. So, I think everything should start with the behavior of people. So in order to reach financial gains, you have to start with the community itself in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. Some other speaker want to add some comments? Seems no. So we go for next question. Yeah, and here I would well restart the round maybe from Martin. What are the technical challenges in developing waste to energy technology solution, for example, biomass to briquettes in your respective countries? I remember from your presentation, you were talking about biochar, you were talking about sunflower residues. What? Martin?
Yes, sorry, I'm thinking, I don't know how to put this in English.
Did you try different kind of wastes? Now I don't remember for this stove.
Yes, I have tried a lot of different residues from the farm here in Swedish company as well. So there have been a lot of testing of such residues, and all of them looks positive.
Did you have did you thought about also how to valorize or reuse the char that you are producing?
Sorry, could you please repeat that question?
Sorry?
Come again, please.
Regarding the char that you are producing with the process of biomass cooking.
Yes.
Do you what's his final destination? Do you think it still has some value?
We have, they are testing it right now at RISE in Sweden, and we have not received any feedback yet from them.
So it's in the process of testings, and as Martin had mentioned in his presentation, like they have the product and they are in the testing phase. So I guess they are testing with different biomass and like analyze the results. So yeah. I would also ask, because this is an interesting question for Econexis as well,
Yeah.
since they're already very far ahead in manufacturing and like producing their own fuel. Do you, Patience, if you can answer on what kind of challenges do you face in terms of like having equipment, skilled personnel if required? So if you can highlight some points on that, maybe.
Yeah, so when it comes to the equipment, most of we need industrial machines to help with our manufacturing and everything, and we have to always import it here to Ghana to produce our product. So we have to pay money for duty returns when we are importing from China, you know, and everything. And before you realize what you have, but the fund that you have raised for the kind of machine, before you bring it to the country, the prices have increased because of the petty import duties and stuff you have to pay for it. But in all, it is worth it because that is what is helping us to produce product for our end users. When it comes to the personnel, when it comes to human resource, we are young people and we love to work with young talent. So we have young people, we have female engineers, We have, young people in administration, in finance working with us, and we also build on their capacity. We give opportunities to attend webinars, give opportunities to have training programs and everything that helps them build their capacity as well. So we are growing, we are young, we are vibrant, we are passionate about the clean cooking industry, and we are looking forward to a bigger impact in the near future.
Thank you. Very nice. Ola, I know that you are developing several different waste to energy technologies. I don't think we have time to go through all of them, but I think you can have a valid opinion regarding this question too.
Yes, well, the technical challenges that we face is the transferring the idea from the lab into the market, and so working with small scale reactors or microbial fuel cells in my case, and transfer them into a factory, or it's not easy. It's not easy to get skilled labor to work with the system and troubleshoot anything that comes with it. The raw material is usually, it's not a problem because it's the waste, so it's not a problem there. The customers accepting the change, it's something that we deal with all the time. So they just want to do business as usual, whatever they're accustomed to. It's easier for them to keep on working, even if it has problems, even they're facing problems, or it's even costly, but accepting the change has been something that we've been facing a lot lately. So that's about it.
Thanks. And I think that upscaling some kind of technologies is a same problem also in European countries when you talk about very new technologies going from lab to pilots. It's a technical challenge, not easy to solve. I will go to the next question, because we also have a second part of the discussion. And so, well, let's see, what are the issues that need to be addressed to increase investment appetite from a business development perspective? And here again, I think that Patient and Martin can answer. What do you think?
I don't know how to answer this question either. Actually, sorry.
Okay, can you repeat the question again? So that we can get the sense, yeah.
Yes. What are the issues that need to be addressed to increase the investment appetite, the willingness to invest of companies from a business development? Yes.
Yeah, so for me, what I would say is that the issue that need to be addressed when it comes to investment. You realize that
I think due to the connectivity.
we are, start out. Hello?
Yeah, I think
okay.
We lost you for a bit, Patience, but now you're back, I guess.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So what I was saying that when it comes to the issue, the main issue has to do with carbon credit financing for, our industry, because when it comes to the carbon credit financing, we always talk about the big players. We don't consider with the startups, because we need to really get to a stage before we can access carbon credit financing. But recently, Clean Cooking Alliance published an article that they are going to help startups to come together and give us technical support so that we can also access carbon credits finance. And we see that to be a very wonderful opportunity.
Thank you. I see Martin that has his hand raised.
Opportunities. So when these opportunities are okay.
Sorry, because I lost you. I lost the connection, and I thought you were not speaking anymore. Sorry, Patience.
Okay, sorry. But am I audible now?
Yes.
Is it clear now? Yeah, so I was saying that when we talk about carbon credit, we talk about the big players, and with the technical support, it requires a lot of funding before you can access that. But recently, Clean Cooking Alliance published an article where they're going to help with the startups come together so that they can give us the technical support to access carbon credits. So in our industry, with the investment opportunities, before you access carbon credit, it's a big tax. But when you're able to do that, it helps the company reduce their cost and also provide even the clean cooking stove for free or at a lower price for customers to be able to purchase. Yeah.
Thank you. Martin?
Hello, it's Chekondi. I joined through Martin's link.
Okay.
I think, I think
Hi,
some of the
Chekondi.
issues, that needs to be addressed to have a clear business model on how the business will make money, and also to have sustainability plan. It should be clearly defined, and also to have a product which will have an impact on the community. I think these three things really need to be clear in order to have an increased investment.
Thank you. Any other thought from the other panelists?
Yeah, may I add something?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that in order to increase investment appetite, we come back to having the government support, facilitating financing this business, and creating supportive, just against the streamlining of paperwork and everything that is, needs to be done to get this business launched. The other thing that is really important is aligning the research with the product in the end. So most of the investors, they're afraid of new scientific based ideas. So investing, or the government invests in something, in research and development of such ideas, and developing it for the purpose of being incorporated into a business, and not just for research, not for just for publication. That is one of the elements that is really important, because sometimes it's just like two different arenas, or they don't they don't align together. So I think investing something like that would make the investors encouraged more to get into this kind of business.
Yeah, I completely agree. Thanks. Let's go to the last question of this round. In general, what are the response and satisfaction levels of the end user customers, such as urban, rural households, vulnerable groups of communities, etc.? And I think, again, when the experiences of Martin or Chekondi of Make It Green Company, or of Econexus, where you already have a product and you are able to, and you have been able to check this response from the end users. Don't know who want to start. Yeah, I see the hand raised from, I think, Chekondi or Martin.
For our case in Malawi, we our product is not yet on the market,
Mm.
but we had the opportunity of presenting our product to the end users. Even if it's not yet out there, but we are already receiving a positive response. They are looking forward to buying the cook stove, which is something which is very encouraging. The only issue is about the pricing, because we are not yet sure. On top of that, we need to have a profit out of selling the cook stove. So it's a matter of, yes, we have a product that people want, but can they actually afford? So on this one, we are yet to have a product on the market, but we are already receiving a positive response, especially from the rural communities, because that's where we work in. Thank you.
Thanks. Patience?
Yeah. So as we've got the privilege to be in the market, we have been able to reach more than 500 households now in Ghana. And we have most of the customers coming back to buy our fuel, and they give us their feedback, and we take their feedback into serious consideration, because our customer feedback is very, very, very important to us. And they really love the product, because one thing they love of the product is how safe the product is compared to LPG, compared to charcoal. And they are also in love with the price. And because LPG keeps increasing daily in Ghana here, so most of them are spending money on LPG, but we're bringing in our fuel. They say it to be very affordable, and they really love it as well. And the stove is very portable. The students love to use the stove because it's very portable. When people are even going on camping, they prefer to use our stove as well. So we've had positive customer feedback. Aside that, we've had some negative feedback that we are using, we have taken into consideration to work on our product design as well and satisfy our customers' needs.
Okay, so that remembers me the discussion that we had before with Ola regarding this social acceptance when developing a fuel from wastes, and then it's really nice to know that in your case, Patience, in the case of Connexus, there has been this good acceptance from the community for the usage.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if anyone want to say something more. Otherwise, we will switch to the second part of the discussion. Okay, so we can switch to these questions more related to the policy perspective. I see that also Laban is now connected, and welcome to the webinar. And I think, well, the first question is why policy instruments and implementation strategies are in place to favor, and in which policy instruments and implementation strategies are in place to favor and enhance the deployment of clean cooking solutions in Kenya, for example. Laban, yeah, I see. Laban, do you listen? Can you share your thought regarding this?
I think again there's a connectivity issue.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the question is open to all the panelists. Also because we have different countries here represented, and I guess these policy instruments will be different from one country to the other. So let's go back to to make it green people, to the people of Malawi. What do you think? No. Well, patience, we are always going back to you.
Patience, you're on mute if you're saying something.
No?
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Ola, do you have any clue about Egypt? If there are any implementation strategies for clean cooking solutions? I don't know.
I don't know of a project that adopts clean cooking solutions so far, but I know of other green approaches or other projects where it's to implement them, it has to be adopted by an NGO, so that it would be like a liaison between the policymakers or the government and the people. I'm not sure I can add to this.
No, yeah, I know, but
I think that
experience...
implementation strategies, yeah, but generally implementation strategies would involve something like incentives or, you know, to encourage people to adopt something like that. And incentives can be like substituting something that is old style cooking with something new, to, you know, like an alternative approach. Could be like I don't know, decreasing taxes or something. So just, you know, to compensate for that change.
Yeah, I think the same. Yes, sorry, I know that you are going out of your comfort zone in this with this question, and that experience is more related to waste valorization for energy, but not for clean solutions. But it's really nice to know your thoughts.
Yeah, so can I make a contribution?
Yeah, please.
Yes, so regarding policies that will help to promote clean cooking, I think government and institutions of various countries should begin to look at policies that strongly discourage the logging of trees, that is the cutting down of trees for use as charcoal or firewood in cooking. So once we begin to do that, and also as already mentioned, companies or startups that are solving this problem of clean cooking, the policies should be able to encourage them by providing some incentives, removal of taxes that prohibit. Sometimes technologies becomes very expensive that people will rather prefer going the conventional way. Change is actually difficult, and it's more difficult when the change is actually going to cost you more. So if somebody is already using charcoal or firewood and you want the person to change to use, let's say, clean cooking stove, where the cost is even more, even changing, even if the cost is less, change is difficult. And when the cost is more, it makes it more difficult for people to change. So if there are policies that discourages the cutting down of trees and also promotes, provide incentives like tax holidays for startups and other incentives, it will encourage the emergence of such. Even it will bring more investors when people are coming to invest into startups like this. They have tax holidays where you are not going to tax them. When they are importing things, they have import-free, that they can import things without any duties, and it will encourage more of these technologies that will go a long way to reduce the use of these traditional cooking fuels to the sustainable cooking fuels in our various countries. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your really nicely developed answer. But actually, while you were talking, I was also looking at the next question, and I was thinking that you already mentioned several things, several major factors that should be considered for investing in clean cooking solutions around Africa. And I would go for a last round of, I see the hand raised from Laban. Please. Please try to talk. I don't know if before we were not able to listen you. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Otherwise, you could eventually write down what you want to say, and we can read it in the chat, because we are not able to
hear him fully. Yeah, it is said that these technical issues become a barrier here, but we would really have like to hear the opinion of Laban. But if Laban, if you can write in the chat if you want, that would be very, very, very helpful. And yes, as we are closing in at the time, Daniel, should we move towards wrapping up?
Yeah, I was checking if there were any questions from the audience, but don't think so. There was a question. Can you go back to the slides showing the cook stove? I know that this presentation will be recorded and then will be shared. So,
all right.
I think we can go to conclusions.
Okay. So yes, thank you everyone in the panel, everyone in the audience for joining the presentations as well as the discussion. Very fruitful discussions ranging from different topics. We address technologies, business development, as well as we touched a bit upon the policy topics as well. For closing up the webinar, we would also like to highlight, since I had mentioned in the presentation earlier that this webinar is a part of the capacity building work package for the SESA project, and this webinar is also a part of a course module. And in one of the slides, I had also mentioned about that through SESA, we are developing a toolbox wherein we want to build these modules based on each courses. As you can see, till now we have published one course on solar energy in SESA, and the second course on clean cooking and waste to energy will be published soon. And this webinar was part of the clean cooking and waste to energy course module. And these courses are open access and free to all. So even in the audience, if anyone wants to have a look and attend these courses, complete these courses, please feel free. I can share the link with you in the chat, and also you will receive, all of whom who have attended this webinar will receive this presentation as well as all the important links. With that, if we dive deeper into the course module for clean cooking, these are some of the topics that it touches upon. Basically, clean cooking concepts, treatment of organic waste, sourcing and production, technology options, installation, maintenance, operations, safety, business models and delivery models for clean cooking solutions. And one thing that is important to keep a note of is these courses will have glimpses or from this SESA project implementation phases. So whatever we are implementing on the ground, whatever challenges that we face, whatever benefits that we see, what are the best practices that come out of the project will be included in these capacity building course modules. So yeah, this was just a glimpse of it. And yes, for our SESA project, we would like all of you to be in touch because the project is still ongoing. We started in 2021, it's 2023, almost 2 years. We have 2 more years to go. We have a lot of implementation and replication activities that will come up. And many updates are already being published on these social media channels. So we would like you to follow us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, whichever social media you prefer. And also, if you have any questions or doubts, please feel free to contact to this email. We also have the website. There's an option on the website as well to contact us. We would happily share more information, more public information to whomsoever is willing to know more about the project in the near future as well. And thank you everyone for joining. Thank you all the panelists. Thank you Isaac, Martin, Patience, then Augustine, Ola, Laban, Daniel, and everyone in the audience as well. Thank you so much for joining in, and see you in many more webinars to come for the SESA project.
Thank you.